Good morning, I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking the impacts of Francine as it's barreling towards the Louisiana coast, but of course here across southeast Texas. Here's a look at Galveston right now. Looking at those treacherous waters there just offshore, you're actually able to see the water just approaching the seawall, it seems like, but we are definitely seeing that coastal flood advisory that will be in effect for today, all thanks to Francine not being too far away. So if you are along the coastal areas, just keep in mind that we could be looking at 1 to 3 or maybe 1 to 2 feet of storm surge for folks that are just to the north from Crystal Beach off towards Beaumont. So expect some beach erosion and some definitely high rip current risk if you are along our coastal areas. Also, there is a wind advisory in effect for our coastal areas until 1 p.m. today, as we could see some gusty conditions from Francine as it's actually moving towards Louisiana. But looking at the current winds right now, winds are sustained at 18 miles an hour. Not too much breezy conditions here across the Houston area, up to about maybe 13 to 15 miles an hour. But looking at Hurricane Francine as of now, this is as the latest 10 a.m. advisory. We are seeing this at a Category 1 storm. It looks like that we are expecting that to maintain its strength as it makes its way towards Louisiana. Winds are at 90 miles an hour, but we are expecting that to continue its rather northeastern track and expect it to make landfall at some point today, this afternoon, as this storm is coming into contact with some drier air that is in place. And so that's going to keep that strength as it makes its way closer towards Louisiana, especially as it makes its way, of course, to southern Mississippi. It's still going to maintain that tropical storm force winds there. But looking at our future track, we are expecting this to continue. We've seen that heavier rain moving towards Louisiana. We're still going to get a few showers out of this for today, so expect some wet roadways here across Houston. But of course, those impacts very well off to the east over Louisiana, as they're going to be dealing with possible, look at the future track wind gusts that we're expecting to see across the Louisiana coast. We can expect to see maybe between 80-mile-an-hour winds once the center of that eye wall approaches southern Louisiana, and they're expecting up to possibly 70-mile-an-hour winds and then across New Orleans as we go into the next few hours as the storm is continuing its track off towards the northeast. So definitely expecting very indirect impacts from this storm as it's making its way towards Louisiana here across southeast Texas, but there's still a lot of activity going on in the tropics. There's several disturbances that are now in place across the Atlantic basin. We are expecting, they have already, the National Hurricane Center has already established another tropical depression closer to Africa. That is expected to remain well offshore, but all the rest of these disturbances, a really low chance, between 20-30% chance of development within the next few days. But radar right now across our area is expecting to see these light showers that are going to be moving through for the rest of today. So we're just going to get the light showers out of this system as we progress throughout the next few hours. So of course, definitely tracking this storm, and the one thing to note is that we are in hurricane season, just about the peak of hurricane season, and one thing to also realize is that this storm is not that far away from us. It is heading towards Louisiana, but of course we definitely dodged a bullet here across southeast Texas, 132 miles away off the coast of Galveston. So we're going to have to of course, pray for our folks off in Louisiana. So looking at Hurricane Francine, 10 a.m. advisory, winds at 90 miles an hour. As we look at that new track, it is expected to continue its track towards Louisiana, making landfall at some point today as a Category 1 hurricane. We did see this is going to potentially be a Category 2 storm, but the National Hurricane Center has downgraded that forecasted track in terms of it being a Category 2 back to a Category 1 as it continues its track across Louisiana. So lots of rain, especially with this storm, for folks along I-10. If you are heading on I-10 towards Louisiana, just keep in mind that this storm is going to potentially impact all of those areas from New Orleans, maybe Baton Rouge, seeing some stormy conditions from this. But we are expecting those winds to continue becoming just very light for us here across southeast Texas, maybe between 13-18 miles an hour. There is still that wind advisory in effect for Galveston, but they're forecasting up to 80-mile-an-hour winds maybe close to 69 to 70 mile an hour winds near New Orleans as that storm continues its track. So of course, lots of rain involved with this storm for folks for the east of us across Louisiana, but we are expecting this to quickly move out of the picture in the coming days. And also we're tracking those other disturbances as we are definitely heading into the peak of, we are in the peak of hurricane season. And also we are expecting those showers to be in the picture for us here as we head into the next few hours. So definitely keep that in mind to be cautious on those roadways here across southeast Texas and across the Houston area. We are going to see that wind advisory in effect for our coastal areas, and just keep in mind, if you are along our coastal areas, just keep in mind that we're going to see that flooding concern along our area beaches. For your 7-day forecast, we're going to see those conditions clear on out. High temps topping out in the mid-90s, overnight lows in the 70s. Lots of sunshine expected through the next few days. Might see an isolated shower for Sunday into the start of next week. But after this storm, after Francine moves off towards the northeast, we are expecting a bit of a break in this cloudy weather for the next few days. And of course, you can always keep up to date with the KHOU.com as well as on the KHOU 11 weather app and on KHOU